Hey, good afternoon, good evening, and for some of you, good morning. It's good to be back with you. Now, today we're talking about plant-based goodness. We all need immunity. We also need protection from a whole load of stuff. Tea is incredible because the antioxidants in tea protect us from pollution, protect us from the effects of smoking, and so many other things. But then there's some teas that are not real tea. So real tea is from the plant Camellia sinensis. But tisanes are infusions, which could be from a variety of other herbs and spices. Now in Sri Lanka, this is a big deal for us because we have an Ayurvedic history. We also call a Sri Lankan, uniquely Sri Lankan form of Ayurveda, which is called Hela, which is natural medicine based on traditional wellness. Now, before I go into that, I'm going to talk a little bit about tasting. We have Peter Kuruvita, who's done an incredible dish for us. We've also got, waiting in the wings, we've got our good friend Tomek Malek from Warsaw. He's got up early, especially for us. Bartenders aren't very good at getting up early, but Tomek has done this for us. Thank you, Tomek. Now, everyone asks us regularly, how about tasting? How do you do it? What's the point of it? So we're going to show you tasting on the palate and tasting on the brain. And that's important because whatever you taste, you're going to have to do this. I know half of you know because you've been to earlier sessions, but the other half probably don't. So when you taste, you've got to slurp. It's only when you slurp that you're going to get the texture, the aromas, because you're tasting with your brain as well as with your palate. So that's one important thing about tasting. And now we have, I've got the slide up. So, everyone, we're all very polite. We sip, and that's lovely. You're getting the 4 true senses plus umami, the 5th. But then you're not really getting the resolution. And it's only when you're a little bit rude, and that's how you get the rest of it. You get the texture, the aroma, you get the mouth feel, and you get so much more resolution. And all it takes is 5 mils of tea and a good slurp. That'll give you a true tasting experience. So we're going to have a look at some of the herbs and spices. So when I say herbs and spices, what do I mean? So tea comes from the plant Camellia sinensis. Herbs and spices can be anything. Everyone knows chamomile. Then there's peppermint. There's in Sri Lanka, where's cinnamon, incredibly good in terms of antioxidants. Plant-based goodness again, great as a protector from type 2 diabetes. You've got moringa, you've got ginger, you've got clove, and a whole lot more. But I'm not going to continue. I'm going to pass on to my good friend Peter, who's produced something really good for us this morning. But we do have a question for you first. We have a poll. Tell us, did you know that teas were plant-based, and did you know that they had natural antioxidants? We need to know because we need to keep putting information in your direction. The polls are, you did know. Brilliant. Okay, most people knew. A couple didn't. That's great. So hopefully we taught you something today. Fantastic. Thank you. So 93% knew. Wonderful. Thank you very much. And now I'm going to hand over to my friend Peter. Now, Peter couldn't be with us live because something came up and he had to rush away, but he's been on, we've recorded him this morning, and he's joining us right now.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Dilmah Tea Immunity webinar. Now, this whole question about whether having something good can also taste good is an age-old thing. I think plant-based foods, people think, oh my goodness, plant-based foods, it can't taste good. But the reality is, it's all about the ingredients that are inside any dish that make it amazing. And tonight we're talking all about Dilmah teas and how you can infuse their wonderful range of infusions and teas to make beautiful food. Just recently I created about 10 or 12 dishes, and each one of them had an aspect of Dilmah tea in it, whether it be a dressing with Moroccan mint tea or a gazpacho, which we're going to demonstrate shortly, which has the beautiful grapefruit tea in it. It's all about how you use your ingredients to make your food amazingly tasty. I have to say, this is one of my favourite teas of all. It's an infusion of tangerine, rose and grapefruit. The colour that comes from it is stunning, but the flavour is just incredible. And I've decided to brew it, look at that colour, decided to brew it and chill it and then make a gazpacho. So adding watermelon, tomatoes, cucumber, shallots, some jalapeno chilies, a little piece of garlic, salt and pepper. Basil will add a wonderful flavour and enhance all the flavours of the tea. And now the chilled tea. Whatever's left you can drink. Infuse it and blend it with olive oil, and this will help to emulsify the dish. Serve this wonderful gazpacho as a shot or as a bowl of soup. Dilmah's tangerine, rose and grapefruit gazpacho.
Thank you, Peter. He wasn't live, but I think he did his job. So tea can be fantastic with fruits, vegetables, and more. So we're going to see something a little bit more in a minute. But yeah, we have something. So actually, we've got to put up the recipe. So we're going to put that up, and it's also going to be on the Tea Club. So Lakmal, can we just show our guests the recipe for watermelon, tangerine, rose, and grapefruit gazpacho shot. So it's delicious, believe me. A lot of the stuff that Peter produces, like with some good Australian produce, is amazing. So that was it. Now, I think we have a poll. I think we're going to ask you a question. Tell me, lots of people talk about the difference between tea and herbs. I know lots of people love herbs because they're worried about caffeine. Now, hopefully you remember from an earlier session that the caffeine in tea is not a lot. It's 2.5 to 3%, and most of it, the bioavailability is reduced because of the antioxidants. And so, what do you prefer? Do you like tea, Camellia sinensis, green, black, oolong, white, or do you like herbal infusions? Or maybe you take both. Well, thank you. So the response was 71% with tea and 29% with herbal infusions. And so, when Tomek is in the house, I try my best to get out of the way fast because he's the guy with the bottles. He does some amazing stuff. He's not going to do that now, but hopefully next time. So with that, all the way from Warsaw, my good friend Tomek, incredibly skilled, championship Flair bartender. Tomek, over to you.
Thank you, Dilhan, for the invitation. Good afternoon, good morning to some of you. Like here in Poland, 10 a.m. Not the best time for bartenders, but it's an absolute pleasure to be here today with you and to prepare something that is perfect for the morning treat. This is a perfect moment to start a day with something refreshing, something healthy, something that can help support your immunity. And Dilmah Melon Sour is one of these cocktails that really fulfill all of these requirements. So what we will have today, we have the Dilmah Green Rooibos cold brew, which I said yesterday in advance, more or less 4 bags for 500 milliliters. You keep it in the fridge, and as you see, it's ready. Then we'll use a cantaloupe melon, which is a great source of vitamin B6, vitamin C, also potassium, and vitamin A. We'll add a bit of lime juice, which, as we all know, is a great source, again, of vitamin C, which is so important because it increases the production of the white blood cells, which then are a key to fight the infections. Last but not least, sweet part. We always, when we want to balance our mocktails, cocktails, we are looking for some sweeteners, and it's very important to use a healthy sweeteners, as is so many of them on the market, but not all of the sweeteners are healthy. And bee honey is one of them, especially when you are using the not processed one, the raw bee honey. What bartenders usually do, we turn it into the honey water or honey syrup by adding a bit of water. It is important not to boil it and not to use too hot water, as then it can kill some of the goodness which are in the honey. So just a little bit of the water. I always use 2 to 1 in favor of honey. So 2 parts of the honey, 1 part of the water, 50 degrees maybe Celsius, then stir it to the point it all dissolves, and our honey water is ready. Okay, so let me start preparing our Dilmah melon sour. As always, at the beginning, we have to remember about 2 G's of bartending, which are glass and garnish. Okay, so we will serve our mocktail in a coupe glass. We want to seal it a little bit, so we add a little bit of ice. When you are making cocktails at home, you can just keep it in the freezer, and whenever you are ready, just take it from the freezer. It will cool down perfectly, and then garnish. So we'll garnish it with a thin slice of a melon. This is a big one. I am not an expert in cutting, but I hope it will be thin enough to be our garnish. Okay, so more or less we are looking for slice of this side, which we'll place later on top of our coupe glass. Okay, I will prepare a bit more of a melon, which we'll be using for our mocktail. Okay, so we are looking for more or less 100 grams, which is like this size of the wedge of melon, and we start off adding it to our shaker. Okay, fantastic. Then we'll muddle it. And add all other ingredients, which are 70-80 milliliters of our cold brew. This is a green rooibos, lemongrass, and spearmint. Rooibos is also so good for your immune system. It has the antiviral effects. It has antiviral effect that can enhance the body defense system. Then our lime juice, we are looking for 20 milliliters of the lime juice. So it depends how juicy is your lime, but let's say half of the lime. And bee honey, 15 milliliters. If you prefer a bit sweeter than 20. And we are ready. So now we are adding the ice. It's been quite a long time before I was shaking a real cocktail. It's been 4 months not behind the bar. So I'm very happy I can do it now. If you shake it well. Okay, so all the ingredients are mixed together. Our coupe glass is chilled already. So we'll be fine straining it, as we want to separate not only the ice, but also the parts of the melon from our mocktail. Okay. And the garnish, slice of the melon on top. Here it is, our Dilmah melon sour is ready. Cheers.
Thank you, Tomek. You always look good when you do that Which one was that, Tomek? That was you have the Italian way, you've got another way. What was that shake? Lakmal, can we go back to Tomek?
Shake, well, this is a Warsaw shake, Polish shake. The mix between all of the probably other techniques.
That was brilliant, Tomek. So tell us, tea and particularly the kind of tea that Tomek makes that usually he adds a little bit of something into it. It is associated with mood, and mood is so very important because mood determines your attitude, and your attitude determines, well, everything else. So tell us which mood resonates with you, and next time we'll tell you about the teas that go with each of those. Joy, yeah, I love it. Joy is definitely the favorite, and boost, yeah, boost, because we need boost energy. We all need a bit of energy these days, and I think that's pretty much it. Okay, nearly everyone. Joy is still in the lead. We've got boost coming. Okay, Joy won, and thank you. So we have a poll for you. Tell us, tea and infusions. Tea in the morning, herb infusions in the morning. What's your preference? Yeah, there's a few choices there. Tea in the morning, herb infusions in the morning, herb infusions in the afternoon. I hope multiple answers are possible, but we ask these polls so that you can help us to make sure that we refine the content further down and make sure that we respond to what you're interested in. So I want to thank you for your participation. Yep, we've got most people, no, not yet. We've got a few more voting. And what is in the lead? Morning, afternoon, evening. Whoa, I like that. Tea in the afternoon only, anytime. Brilliant. So we have some confirmed tea drinkers, tea, morning, afternoon, evening. Thank you very much for that. So before we conclude, a couple of reminders. The last time I was asked, where can we get the Watta teas? And then I was asked, where can we get the chais? Well, we've set up a special page called the School of Tea Recommends on the online shop at dilmahtea.com. It's all there, everything you've asked for. Please check it out or let us know on the club if you need some help or you need something special. Now, what we've got that's upcoming is 2 really good sessions. Now, the next one is really cool because it's about guilt-free indulgence, desserts paired with tea. It's also about when tea can be a dessert. And tea is free of calories, it's free of sugar, and it's also a brilliant dessert. We're going to talk to you more about that. But then it's also great paired with dessert. I mean, with chocolate, with panna cotta. It's great in dessert, in panna cottas, in creme brulees, etc. So that's next on the 25th of March. Please join us. We'll be putting out an update on the Tea Club. And 8th April, tea around the clock. Tea, morning, mid-morning, afternoon, mid-afternoon, evening, and late at night. With that, thank you everyone for joining us. It's so good to be with you, to share our love for tea. I'm sorry we can't also see you, but thank you for joining us. Thank you for your questions. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Thank you. God bless you.